Josh, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Three people with no headphone and two with headphones. That's a nice combination.
I'm trying to be quiet. Everybody's in the house is still sleeping.
Okay, good. Good. Yeah. So we start. So you want to start, Jella, or I mean, we have to work on the display to get something to show. And
yeah, I've been working on the display a little bit.
oh, that's good.
So I can't really show it now because I still have no battery. My Zen, so can only. No, that doesn't really work. My cable's too short. So I migrated the older Zen display for the drive at least, so that works now. Let me just get this cable and show it. Does it work? Yeah. So this is the wow, nice blur.
Yeah, leave it.
What do you gotta turn it off again? No options. Okay. Well, I hope you can see it.
Yeah, it's something coming.
Maybe if I.
Yeah. No, I can see it. I can see it. That's on 9.
It's too bad that it's blurred, but I don't know how to turn that feature off. But,
Yeah, just hold it still. It'll come into
hold
focus.
it still. Yes, I think so. Leave it to the back, or no, it doesn't go. Your face
more
is
towards
us.
us.
Don't watch. Yes,
does it work?
No,
it
I don't know why.
So, no, AI is too strong. AI is too strong. Okay, then I will push the code like after the meeting somewhere.
Yeah, we can check it out.
And you can see it. It's just a drive, and it's the I think buttons don't work anymore. Oh, they do. It's a bit slow. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that. I also tried to work on the logging, though I haven't gotten that far with it yet, sadly. That's it for me, basically what I've done.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add.
But yeah, I've been working on getting the parts together for the Zen updates for all of us, so I can send them out probably. I hope next week if I have all the small parts. It's a little bit of juggling because I like to use as much recycle parts we have from old projects, and then get the new ones for the production, and see what part needs to be changed and what added and things like that. So, but yeah, making good progress in that way.
All right.
So, I don't hear you, Louis.
There we go.
I hear.
Yeah, no, from my point of view, if there's anything missing, I've got local suppliers.
Okay.
Well, like for screws and transistors and resistors and stuff.
No, that stuff is not on it.
Okay.
Screws are there.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Screws, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and no transistors, no resistors. They used to be on there, but it was not necessary anymore.
Okay, good.
Oh, and it's only basically a switch. That's the only thing, and I have enough for them, so that's
okay.
Easy. It's the same switch as on the Nano. They work good.
Oh, okay.
They are solid and they are simple and not expensive. So it's a nice switch. Simple.
Yep, it's good. Simple is gooder.
It's good.
Yes.
Good is a good word too. So, and
all right.
I saw you had a discussion about GPS with antenna. You think of changing the module?
No. We're not changing.
No.
No. I think the yellow
It
one.
was just yeah, on the Nano there's an older module that we use, the the ultimate breakout or something for GPS, and it has
Right.
like a small connector on it, so I could use it inside and connect my external antenna. But the Zen doesn't have that, so I was wondering, like, is there a way I could add it to the Zen in a way, or use a different module that has the connector? But it's not like a big issue or something. I can just
Okay.
walk outside for a bit and then
Yeah.
get the connection.
But those small connectors, I've seen them so many times failing, and they are also on the
Mm.
red node and on the air node and on my RF board, my RF board. I mean, for this thing.
Right.
So, but it has all 50 to 100 times, and they're gone. Be careful.
No, just
Yeah.
I sympathize because I was when I was starting to work on the GPS stuff, I was working in the basement and I was wondering why I wasn't getting a connection. Took me a few
Yeah.
minutes.
Yes.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
But you figured it
Yeah.
out. That's, good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
funny
is.
when you look at specs for connectors, like we were using these Molex connectors for robotics, and they literally had the connectors we were using were rated for 100 plugins. That's 100 times use, and that's it for reliability.
Yeah, and then afterwards they
Mm.
go, "Ooh."
Yeah.
You don't want to use them. So, yep. And Josh, you've been okay?
Yep. I downloaded the code and I've just been watching and whatnot.
Okay. You, by
Yeah,
the way, all of us know how to desolder and solder things, and I hope so. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good.
No
And
problem.
have the proper tools for it too. That's also very useful to know.
I need
Everything-
to order a solder. I used to solder with my roommate, but is it just a regular solder thing that I need gun?
Yeah, kind of. You need
Yeah.
quite a small tip.
Okay.
Because for the pin connectors, it's useful to get exactly in the middle of the pin to heat them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have other things to discuss today. Or-
I think so.
Well, I was going to
didn't
show you.
really make a
Yeah.
plan, but
Yeah, let's Michael see. Let's show his thing.
All right,
I
let
would
me,
like
Yes,
to
yes,
see the
please.
menu. That was very interesting.
Okay. Maybe you could um, highlight on me. Let me see. Let's see.
Yeah, that's better. Yep.
Let me just. This is a separate camera. Oops. Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, I
All
got
right.
it.
See that?
So let me plug this in. So this is what I was looking for with the Zen is this boot up process. It basically tells you what the status is. I have to pin this so I can see it full screen.
Mhm.
I can
No, it
right
was
click
good.
on
Yeah.
the
No, that's
Yeah.
good.
I
So
have
if you
full
if
screen.
you
That's good.
pin my camera, you'll see it full screen. Okay. And you can
Got
see
it.
that what that is it's a scoreboard. And so this device is I have a Bluetooth watch that I use as a referee. And then this changes that to a LoRa packet because Bluetooth, when you're in a soccer field, you can't connect to the scoreboard directly with Bluetooth. So you have to, so it goes to LoRa, and then I have either a portable scoreboard or I have a converter that goes to the stadium scoreboard. And so it operates. So and it has on this side right here, it has a 3-button interface, which is what the M5 stacks have. And I started using that. And as I started playing around with the Core 2 with the touchscreen, it's a nice idea, but one of the issues is the screen is so small, and they do give you those 3 buttons on the side. So what I did was I adapted a very simple. I adapted a menu system that I found online to match basically the watch. Most watches, like the Pebble watch that I use, has a 3-button interface on one side. So so this is a settings menu, and so the upper button, scrolls up, or it actually scrolls through a queue. You see on the left hand side, you see that little marker that
Yeah.
tells you
Mhm.
where you're pointing to, right? This is for Bluetooth settings. Let me back up. So going forward, selecting something is pressing the middle button. So I'm selecting the middle button here for radio settings. And then when I go to a particular setting, if I can select, and then you see the little up and down arrows.
Mhm.
It allows me to choose the right channel that I want to use. And to go backwards, it's a long press on the middle button.
Mm,
Okay.
that's good.
So you have enter, or going forward is a single click on the middle button, and to go backwards, it's
Holding it.
it's a long press on the middle button, and then you have up and down.
Mhm.
And the other thing about it is that if this is a menu page that does not have any items on it, and in that case, you define what the buttons do regarding that menu page. So, for example, I can that page doesn't have any menu items associated with, so nothing to scroll with. So the user defines what those 3 buttons do, and it includes single press, long press, and double press. So, for example, I can add a goal to. Oops, I was adding a timeout. Add a goal for a team. I can start the clock with the middle button.
Mhm.
So it's a nice, simple menu interface. When I looked at the way the Zen was laid out in the box, if it was oriented one way with the cover open, it would be a right-handed person, and then if you flip the unit around, you could do it for a left-hand person. So I thought maybe I would spend a little time just adapting that for the M5 Core 2, and to see if that's something you'd like to consider for use.
No, we can look at the code and see if it's useful for us. I mean,
Right.
The code is in Arduino code or C code.
It's C++. It's using classes and methods.
Mhm.
Um,
Is it big or is it long
code?
Yeah.
No, it's not that big. I don't know what the footprint of it is. I'll make a Git of the menu code, including some examples,
Okay, that would be
and
great. Look at that.
and
Yeah.
you could take a look at it. I was going to use that the M5 Cube, the Core 2 for other applications besides the Zen. Now that
Yes,
I have one in my hand, it's a really cool device.
Oh yes,
And
I can imagine if you can convert this box, I mean, what you have there into into a very small M5 stack version, so it's much more easy in your hand, and the buttons are a little bit bigger.
Yeah. So I don't actually, this is actually as a relay, and what I do is I just literally tuck it in my pocket. I don't actually see this. It acts as a relay, and the display eventually times out anyway, so it's blank and it's just sitting in my pocket, relaying packets from my watch to the scoreboard and back. No, but what I was thinking of using it for was there are some venues where they don't want the referee to control the scoreboard. I don't know why. And so I would give an M5 cube to that person and have them control the score. But that's where I might actually use the actual touch screen itself for adding a goal, subtracting a goal. In futsal, we also keep track of fouls and whatnot. So, all right.
Oh, interesting use for it, I think.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for showing. This is very useful, I think.
Right. And this is
It's
using
also,
this is the Adafruit Feather
Yeah. Mm.
system with this is basically it replicates all these 3 units are tied together, but I don't use them exactly the way they want me to, but
Mhm.
it works out well. It's great for prototyping.
And the middle one is a teensy.
That's a teensy. So what happens
good
is
luck, yeah.
the Bluetooth protocol and error recovery and everything is complicated enough that I had to offload that to another processor. So that is an I2C client, and the I2C master is underneath the display. This is a M0 processor underneath that display. And then the like I said, which acts as the I2C controller, and then that's an I2C client that's doing it. That actually, so you just query and get whether or not there's a Bluetooth packet to process, or whether you want to send Bluetooth information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those teensys are very nice. I use them for building out special bGeigie's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really nice processor. I use them a lot, especially as I2C clients.
Yeah.
When I have to offload the processing to something because the main processor needs other things to do.
Yeah, and the support from Paul is amazing good. I mean, I've been communicating with him a lot, but he's very good. Yeah,
going back years, that actually didn't support being a client I2C, and I worked with Paul. He was I was surprised. I said, Paul, could you change this piece of code so it could be a client?
Yes, he does it for you.
Yeah,
he's good, and he's very responsive and quickly reacts. And this is a wonderful that person. But the problem is, if he gets sick, there's nobody to replace him.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Then the teensy is dead, kind of. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
And that I was worried about when choosing the microprocessor. It's only relying on him, more or less. And then the ESP32 is much wider organized. And when that came along, I used that. I started using it. And when Ray showed me the M5 stack, I was blown away. Like, wow. This is so simple.
Yeah. So the only downside to a 3-button interface, well, it's not a downside for this stack, is that you have to rotate the display, so the display is now tall instead of wide. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's not.
Yeah,
it's not a requirement.
Mm-hmm. But the problem is the connector on the back. So we have to redesign the connector, and then the SD card will be at the wrong side. We tried many ways. Yeah, I think it's good to think about it for left and right.
No, I thought you would have the box would be this you
put it on the side.
Yeah, and you would just you flip open the lid to the top to the north side, to this side here, and you could operate it like this, and like I said, the box is this way, and then if it's a left-handed person, you turn the box around.
Yeah, left hand.
Yeah, and so the box is coming out this way, and then you have your left-handed buttons.
But the problem is most people hold it like this in their hand.
Yeah,
and then
you have buttons above, which is
that's
I mean, most people would hold it like that, but that is because the screen is rotated that way. So
yeah, that's
if we offer the option to hold it like this, holding it like this, then they won't hold it like this because the screen is oriented that way. So it would make sense. Although for a left-handed person, like the lid would be a bit in the way.
No. So you just literally
you turn. I don't know.
You take it out of the box and you put it the other way. You put it the other way in the box because it's symmetrical, and then you have your buttons on that side. It's just when I saw it this way with the buttons on top, you're putting the button your fingers over the top of the screen to do it.
But if you put it around, you need another connector in the background. In the back, you need 2 connectors then.
No. I'm saying you take the Zen out of the Pelican box.
The whole Zen go out of the box. Yes,
and
that's a
put
good
it in
idea.
the other way.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's much easier. Yeah, that makes sense.
Including
But-
rubber
but-
liner.
At the same time, I talk about, these 3-button interfaces, which, there are a lot of people that are using them. And like I said, I took somebody else's code and adapted it. I also agree that it's great to explore how you would create an interface with a touchscreen interface for this device, for this application,
Mhm.
right? Because that could be interesting. That's an interesting exercise as well. These interfaces are really, what are an important part of the project, or an artistic part of the project, I should
Mhm.
say.
I completely agree with you.
So when a person would go on a drive and they put the Zen outside of the window, it would still be oriented this way because you can add like the what's it called, the thingy where you bind it to the window.
Mhm.
So it would still
Yeah.
stick to the window like this.
Like a suction
instead of-
cup.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
Or just any old hook, I suppose.
But then again, we can make a button to rotate the screen because they're not touching the buttons when it's outside.
Right.
So you can still see it. And if they want to, they can use also the BLE inside their car to watch.
That's right. Like the orientation doesn't have to be like readable from the inside. You can always like look at it like that.
Mhm.
If it's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, it's not like you're
doesn't-
driving and you're like, oh, what's the CPM? You have to focus on the road. It doesn't really matter that much, I guess. But yeah, I guess we could try it. I think one challenge would be like we would still have to label the buttons because
Yes, I like that.
memorizing the buttons. So that's yeah. Continue.
Yeah, I like that the way you labeled the buttons here. That's you could rotate the text, or you could have vertical text or something for select, up and down or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
Yeah, I
good
think
one.
vertical text is not really.
Maybe no, you're right. You're right.
It's
It would
quite
probably
difficult
be,
to read, but it's an option.
yeah.
Yeah, or make
Okay.
make the buttons a little bit bigger, wider, and then write on it just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, but then because the screen is now smaller, you poke in the in the field
That's
where you want to write stuff as well. So, and also
Yeah.
these, I don't know. It's
Or
something.
another thing to make an icon, not text.
Yeah.
An icon is very easy, forward, backward, and
Yeah, with an arrow up, arrow
Right.
down, and arrow
I guess for the
forward.
menu, that's absolutely doable. But for things like start logging, stop logging,
no, it's
that's
No, those are probably
Mm.
going to be in the middle of the
Textual,
field. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's all software though, which is great.
that's true.
That's true.
Hmm.
Get out of that mode.
I think for now it's because we don't have to change the hardware. We can just stick to this first design and
Right.
keep this an option for sure.
Yeah, I think it's
Because
wonderful.
it's just a software thing. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's a nice idea. I like.
So
It
if
really
you
made
want-
the
if you
projects
want-
that I worked on, having that 3-button interface and being able to create menus really quickly, really simplified the process of doing prototyping.
Yes, I
Absolutely.
can imagine.
Right. I think as for the menu code, from what I've seen, it's basically what we have as well. So
Yeah,
except
it's
for
very
the double,
similar.
we don't
Yeah.
have a double click, but we do have a long press and a short press, and like handling the button per screen. Like currently on this screen, you have different actions for the buttons, like for
Right.
drive it's start log, and if you're in a menu, it's go down. Or so that's already there, so we don't have to
Yeah.
code or anything. All right.
Yep. Thank you for showing.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a nice idea. Mm.
And Yellow want to work also on the Miro to get it more details, or for today you don't want to do that.
Let's see. I'll take a look at the Miro. I think for the Miro we don't have any screen specific design like the drive mode. I did add the CPM and the microsieverts per hour data. But I think maybe it's an idea for each of us to just work out one screen.
Mm.
Although we only have 2 at the moment.
Yeah, and
Or-
also the background and the doors and these kind of things need to be done. I mean, it's
Yeah, I think like if we have the drive mode and the survey mode, like I have like a first version of the drive mode where you can see like the font used and some like positioning.
if you don't mind, I prefer to have the fonts if it's numbers to make them with the 7-segment fonts. I mean, that makes it so much clearer to see a number from far away even.
Yeah, that's true. But the font size for that is, I think, only one size.
At the moment, that's what I put it in. So if you can change other sizes too, you can make custom fonts and it's fine. Any
Yeah,
font.
yeah. So you saw that scoreboard display.
Mhm.
That is a programmable 7-segment character generator
Mhm.
for numbers. So you could use something like that. You specify the segment sizes, and it builds and it will build the. I'll put that code out there as well.
Okay.
So you can make the numbers as big as the display.
Right. Yeah, we're a bit, I think, not really limited, but we do use the M5 LCD library.
Right. This one, all it requires is draw pixel, and that's so it's so I'm saying it's a character generator that it's a class that you add, and you just say, starting at this point, draw a 7-segment display this size, a number, or you could do however many numbers you wanted. Yeah.
Right.
Because I've been using 7-segment 2-type fonts and just convert them, and then put them on the extra storage on the ESP32.
Oh, okay.
So you can use any text directly on it.
Yeah. So if you store them as a static character, then yeah, that simplifies it as well. Yeah.
All right. Maybe one of us can then figure out how to use the 7-segment font like a smaller size, because from what I found, there's only one.
Yeah, at the
height.
moment there's only one. I think that's number
Yeah.
7, font number 7. I think it is.
Yeah, it's number 7 and it's height 48.
Mhm.
So there's no other option to set like the text size.
No.
If I look at
No,
the
that's correct.
code, it also says like, well, we just calculate the font
Yes.
based on this and this. Kind of like, there's only one parameter, which is the font, not the size. So yeah, if one of us can figure that out, that would be great.
Okay. No,
Because I do like the idea of having like all the numbers with the 7-segment font.
Mhm.
That's cool.
At least the big number should be 7, because that's the one they have to see directly. So.
Right. That's true.
So, by the way, we have about eight more minutes for this meeting before we have to switch or stop. So, are there other things we have to talk about before we stop the meeting?
Well, just for myself, just to mention that I'm sort of taking a little bit of a side trip into looking at how the tube interacts with the safe pulse high voltage supply and detector, and also coming up with a more realistic pulse simulator. In other words, right now I did this little pulse generator, and all it is, it just basically just it's basically just sends it out with constant timing, and that's really not what we're seeing, from a real process, or real physical process. And the idea is there to basically make sure that we're accounting for the tube's dead time. In other words, the recovery time between when it receives a pulse and then when the voltage comes back up to be sensitive again to a particle coming in. So that's going to be my side trip for now. And from time to time, I'll consult with people with way more SafeCast experience. So
what is Safe Pulse?
Safe Pulse is it's a high voltage power supply for the Geiger-Müller tube. So it generates somewhere around 500 volts, which is what the tube requires, according to its specification. And the second part of it is a little transistor detector circuit that triggers a one-shot, and that one-shot gives you a pulse that a digital level pulse that the M5 can record.
Okay.
So
yeah, and it was developed by Alan and me. It's basically a reverse eye rover design. So he took an eye rover and really with an maybe X-ray, or he just got a microscope and really traced it all down and find out which parts are being used and what part need to be replaced to make it possible to make them ourselves. So we're making them the SafeCast. We don't have so much, but we have about 18 or 16 left, and then we have to order a new set. So it's all surface mount. It's very small. It's about half the size of an eye rover, and it's about half the price too. That's also very useful to know.
Yeah.
But there's done testing, but not really serious testing at the moment. So we are working on with Alan and with toy maker. Toy maker is Joseph. Joseph is make the quick pulse for the rad node. And the rad node and the safe pulse have basically the same schematic. So some small changes, but that's it. So.
And then that has the I2C interface between the two.
The new versions can have it, but I'm not convinced if we should use it, because Ray wants to use it because he wants to every count all the time being counted.
Right.
So it doesn't matter, because sometimes the CPU skips between a count. It's still short time. It can skip one, and Ray wanted to have it exactly.
So each pulse is an interrupt to the processor, or?
Yes, basically it is.
Okay.
And then the code handles the interrupt and when it was done, and it keeps track in buckets to see. And then you should look at the code for the nano. Basically,
I've been starting to look at that, and that's why I started to look in schematics too, because I looking at code without schematics, you need to look at both.
Yes,
to make some sense of it all. I do have my new Ubuntu machine up and running. I just got to install all the code now, all the applications that I need.
Okay. If you need help with Ubuntu, let me know.
It was a wrestling match. Okay. I finally won. That's the thing about some of these things. You come out bloodied and bruised, but eventually you win.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Well, that was the case. Yeah, that's the case here. I'm finally have a workable daily driver with Ubuntu 22.4 or 22, whatever, the stable version. So.
Yeah, I used to use Ubuntu a lot when we were building cloud services in Fukushima. So we set up a cloud network, and then all the machines were running Ubuntu. So.
Right.
Some are, not all, some are running CentOS, so that's why I know Ubuntu quite well.
Okay.
These days I use Mint, Linux Mint. I think it's more graphically more interesting for me.
Oh, good.
So
It's still Ubuntu on the
that's still
backside.
Ubuntu, yes. I still use the
underneath?
Ubuntu stuff. Yes.
Okay.
It's very similar. But it's for me more more interesting, more pleasing the screen.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have 2 more minutes left. So other things, Josh, you have things
Yes.
still to say or
No.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the drive screen and the surface screen, which are quite similar. Does anyone wanna work on that this next week?
I hope
Perhaps.
to have a look at least to it, but I cannot promise.
Or perhaps like icons. We will be using icons in the status bar at the bottom, like the SD card, Wi-Fi, maybe like to load these icons into the status bar. We can add some colors to them later, but it's nice if we know how to use the icons in the bar.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's really easy, but
If Joshua
Icons.
want to try this, that would be
Yeah.
an interesting project. Just simple to use icons on the display.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. If you need help, post it in the channel, so that we can all think about it.
yeah, there's in the GFX screen CPP, there's like a piece of text that says to do icons. To do status icons. So if you look for that in the code, you can find it, replace
Okay.
it. Basically.
That's good thinking. Yeah, I like you commenting, by the way. Yeah, this is very good always. You're commenting
Yeah, I try to
in the
make it
code.
easy for others to like see what's going on and reading the code, of course.
And also to find code, to find some parts where you want to see, so that makes it easy.
Yes.
Okay, I think we are nearly at the end, and we can say bye-bye, I think.
All right.
You think so?
All right. Have a good week, everyone.
Yeah.
You
All right.
too.
You too.
Good luck all.
Bye.
Thanks for joining
See you
us.
next week.
Bye.
I'll
Bye.
post the
Bye-bye.
video later.